Beginning the arrival. I was never supposed to see another sunrise. At least, that's what the military doctors had said after the Morithan incident. Radiation poisoning, organ failure, the whole grim report. They sent me to a cold outpost on Alindra 7, far from the main colonies, to live quietly until I didn't. But quiet never lasts long on the edge of alien space. The first sign came at dusk. A power surge, then silence. The perimeter sensors blinked out one by one, swallowed by the planet's mist. The air grew heavy with static, a shimmer of violet light rippling across the horizon. I grabbed my pulse rifle and stepped outside. That's when I saw her. A silhouette descending from the mist. Tall, graceful, her movements too smooth to be human. She wore armor made of blackened glass, her silver hair reflecting the dying light. Her eyes glowed faintly red, not with rage but hunger. I recognized her species immediately. Vryal, I whispered. Alien vampires, predators of light and blood, remnants of a dying empire that fed on the life force of other beings. They hadn't been seen in this sector for a decade, and now one stood before me. She said nothing at first, only stared. Then, in a voice that trembled with restrained power, she spoke. Human soldier, your life is mine to end. I raised my rifle, though we both knew it was useless. You'll have to earn it, I muttered. Her lips curved, not in anger but amusement. Then she vanished. A blur of motion, a rush of cold wind, and my weapon was gone. Her hand, smooth, cold, strong, pressed against my chest. The tip of her nail grazed my skin, and I felt the energy drain through me, my strength collapsing like air escaping a sealed dome. Your heartbeat, she said softly, is fading faster than I expected. You were dying before I even arrived. Guess that saves you the trouble, I rasped. Her expression changed. For the first time she looked uncertain, almost conflicted. Then she whispered, No, this is not how it should be. Before I blacked out, I felt her hand shift, her power pulsing differently, not taking but giving. And darkness claimed me. Middle, the awakening. When I opened my eyes again, I was still alive, breathing strong. My body no longer burned with radiation sickness. My vision clearer than ever. She sat across from me, her armor dimmed, her crimson eyes fixed on the floor. What did you do? I managed to ask. I shared my essence, she replied quietly. Your blood was collapsing, your cells decaying. I restored them. You saved me. She looked up sharply. Do not mistake mercy for affection, human. I needed answers first. Still, her voice betrayed hesitation. There was something off about her tone, the kind of uncertainty that doesn't belong to a killer. My name's Captain Elias Ward, I said. Last survivor of the Outpost. She studied me. I am Sereth of the Vryal Dominion. My queen sent me to finish what your kind began, the destruction of our last feeding grounds. I frowned. That was a war. A long time ago. She rose, her armor unfolding like wings. For you, perhaps. But for us, war never ends. It only sleeps. Her words echoed with grief, not vengeance. She turned toward the exit but paused when I asked, Then why save me? Sereth hesitated. Because, when I touched your life thread, I saw your memories. You spared one of ours once, a Vryal child left behind in the ruins. I remembered. The Morithan campaign. Child hiding beneath rubble. I let her go. She lived, Sereth said, stepping closer. She became part of my brood. You preserved what little remains of our bloodline. The realization struck like lightning. So, this is repayment. No, she said, her voice trembling. It is recognition. The Queen herself decreed you should die for your defiance. But her gaze softened. I cannot destroy the one who once chose compassion. I stood slowly. Then what happens now? Saratha's red eyes shimmered. Now, I am bound by my own code. Until my queen retracts her command, I serve the one I was meant to kill. You're saying you'll serve me? She nodded once. A Vryal vow cannot be undone. I am your shadow until my blood debt is repaid. Middle the bond. Days passed. Then weeks. We rebuilt the outpost together. Her presence both eerie and mesmerizing. She moved like liquid shadow. Silent, controlled, deadly. Yet in the evenings, she would sit near the generator's faint glow, staring at the stars as if searching for something lost. One night, as I worked on the comms relay, she spoke without looking at me. Humans build from ashes. Vryal only feed on what remains. It is why your kind will endure, and mine will not. I set the tool down. Maybe endurance isn't everything. Sometimes surviving means remembering why you fight. She looked at me then, really looked. And why do you fight, Elias? For the ones I couldn't save, I said quietly. Even now they haunt me. Her lips parted slightly, as though the concept itself was foreign. Regret, she whispered. Your species carries it like a heartbeat. That night, when the cold crept into the airlock, she offered me warmth. Her hand resting on mine, energy flowing like quiet fire. It wasn't hunger. It was connection. The longer she stayed, the more human she seemed. But one morning the sky burned crimson. A ship descended through the clouds. Vryal markings unmistakable. Sarath stiffened. It's the Queen's guard. She knows I've failed my mission. Then we run. She shook her head. There is no running from the Dominion. Her armor sealed around her, wings unfurling with a sound like thunder. You gave mercy to one of us once. Allow me to return it fully. She stepped outside, facing the descending warship alone. Ending the Queen's judgment. I followed anyway, ignoring her protests. The ground trembled as the Vryal ship landed. From the smoke emerged a figure of impossible beauty. Tall, radiant, terrifying. The Queen of the Vryal, eyes like molten gold, voice carrying across the wind. Sarath, she said, her tone both regal and cold. You were sent to end the human's life. Why do you stand beside him? Sarath knelt instantly. Because he saved one of ours long ago. He spared life where I would have taken it. He does not deserve death. The Queen's gaze shifted to me. Human compassion, a disease as ancient as your species. You pause. Do you believe it absolves you from the blood your kind spilled? I met her stare. No. But maybe it proves we can be more than what we were. For a long moment there was silence. Then the Queen turned to Sarath. You shared your essence with him. That act binds your fate to his. Sarath bowed her head. Yes, my Queen. Then serve him, the Queen commanded. Let your life be his, until the balance of our worlds changes. The Vryal soldiers lowered their weapons, confusion in their glowing eyes. The Queen stepped closer to me, her voice a whisper of wind and lightning. Human, remember this. You now carry part of our power. Do not waste it. And with that, she vanished, leaving nothing but swirling ash. Epilogue: The New Dawn. Months later, the war between humans and Vryal officially ended. Treaties signed, borders redrawn, and whispers of peace spread across the colonies. I stayed on Elindra 7, not as a soldier but as an envoy. And Sarath remained by my side, her vow fulfilled not through servitude but choice. One evening, under the twin moons, she stood beside me on the ridge, her crimson eyes reflecting the starlight.